Oh my. Because if there is a heaven, I want to decorate in heaven. You understand? I want to throw it around up there to be a top designer. But what if? What if someone comes for a visit, your house is pulled together? What if ... has been my entire life, you know?
Just show David everything. When I meet a couple, I see all their stuff, their attitude, their cadence, their walk, their personal style, and what all their baggage is.
Barclay, unbelievably talented.
And then I realize which one is more needy, and that's the one that I decide to work with.
He has a great feel for color, for fabric, for any kind of decor.
And the only word I want to hear is 3 letters. Wow.
Oh, wow, that's
He
great.
could probably also be a fashion designer.
When in doubt, throw it out. Wrap it up. That means get it done. Move on with your life. Decorate and live your life.
He knows exactly what he's doing, what he's talking about, what he's thinking about, what he's planning, what he's strategizing, what he's creating at every moment.
If you proclaim it, it happens. When it's finished, we'll do an edit. Never indulge when all still be in caves. Hey, RJ. MJ. Sorry. My natural blonde, MJ.
The judges are going to be looking at the look, not about how your makeup's going to look, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I do this for a living.
I'll trust you.
I did use a little bit of strategy in pitching fits, pouting, to get my own way, to kind of use reverse psychology to make them follow my design scheme so they would win. Because the other designers were the judges. So that was a difficulty, to give a design that was wonderful and comfortable and suitable, but also to impress the other judges.
You have recently been diagnosed with cancer, and you're in a place of acceptance. You're in a place of not fighting it. And it's very important that we speak about this, because we're going to highlight that you actually knew when this all started.
I was in denial for a long time of being financially abused. It was very stressful to me. I internalized it. I was bitter, angry, resentful. I gained 120 pounds. It was humiliating.
Yes. So this actual event happened to you 3 years ago. Somebody embezzled money from you without you knowing it. And then all these emotions came on.
And I ate and ate and ate and covered up my sorrow. And I found a way to come home to hopefully heal. And they told me last week that I was stage 4, 7 months to live. And of course, that was really alarming. But the very next day, I felt like I had to clean up my act. So I'm working on drinking 6 glasses of water a day. I'm working on eating organic foods, again, healthy protein, lean protein, organic vegetables, no smoking, no drinking, and lots of meditation. You know, I have beat a lot of things. I was HIV positive 35 years ago when everyone else was dying. And I somehow, through positive thinking, never got AIDS. I wake up every morning. Today's a new day, you know. I try to live every day like it's the last. So I believe I can beat the cancer. I even have one friend that's going on the same diet with me. I mean, imagine that. She goes, I can do that. You know, that was so sweet to go to cut out carbs and cut out sodas and cut out drinking. And she felt like she had to go through it with me. I love that. It's very sweet. And my mother always taught us can't, never, could, do nothing. You know, you never say can't. So my mother was very strong, and my sister's strong. What's important to me is just to reach out to everyone that I met along the way. You know, I was taught that you treat the princess the same as the maid, and I have lived that way my entire life. and I have just met so many wonderful people. My goodness, I've seen so many wonderful things, beautiful places. You know, um, someone said to me, "You've not been to Paris recently," and I said, "Well, I escaped to Paris in my mind oftentimes." I've just loved meeting all those wonderful people, whether it was the beggar in the street asking for a few pennies, or it was the princess giving the cocktail party. Just wonderful souls. I mean, I love fancy things, don't get me wrong, but I have always been kind to and open to every type of person.
Hi, it's Barclay. I promised you an update. I just got back from the hospital, and the doctors have decided that there's nothing else they could do, and I'm not going to do any more treatments. I'm just going to manage the symptoms with the pain doctor and with home health care, which will eventually become hospice, and be surrounded by close friends and my animals and my pretty things. And I don't want anybody panicking and being upset like my friend in Quitman's been doing all week. I love you. So many people have been nice to me and lovely with me. It's been a very, I know it's hard to say this, but it's been a very nice period, even though it's been a bad period. And I just wanted to share that news with you.
I'm in the middle of an interview with Jill Johnson, the writer. Howard? Yeah, from New York. She flew in last night. We're doing a book, and it's by me, God forbid, and with her. Yeah, she's a Leo like me.
Oh, wow.
With more requirements than me. Can you imagine? No, she's the low maintenance version of me.
So, you have to stay positive, but at the same time,
Yeah,
you're planning your after party.
absolutely.
So, let's talk about that. It's, I would imagine, a way to not wallow in the sadness of the end, but
Right.
prepare and stay productive.
It's Barclay. I've just finished my first week in hospice, and I'm not someplace outside my home. I'm having hospice in my house. The nurses and aides come here. They're very, very nice. Stay home. They make me feel very comfortable. And at this point, since they gave me 1 day to 2 months to possibly longer, they're just managing the pain and the symptoms. So I'm comfortable. But I'm very positive. I'm working on the book with Jill Johnson Mann, and it's going along very well, telling my story of my childhood, telling the story of my journey through cancer, and then my career, which is very exciting to have that opportunity.
I'll summarize how the project first came to be and how I knew Barclay. So in the late 90s, I was doing a magazine called Tear Sheet in New York, which was a modeling and fashion magazine. And one of our partners was in Paris, and he met the most dashing chic man he'd ever met in his life, Barclay, of course. You know, it's so amazing, his attitude through all of this, and we should do a little light book on how to, stay positive through something like this. And knowing Barclay, a Leo, like myself, who likes the spotlight, I thought, I imagine he's gonna like the idea. So I called, and I told him the idea, and he loved it.
Your first babysitter.
Yeah. She was 11, I was 5. I had a huge crush on her.
And you used to try to impress her doing tricks on your tricycle.
Tricycle, oh yeah. Red tricycle. And now she's taking care of me in the end. Isn't that crazy? It was like an angel sent to me. We reconnected during cancer, And there are 2 more ladies that you'll meet. You'll meet one of them, Renee, who I write about all the time. She's amazing. Kate is off today, and she's not coming in from the country. to run the Museum of Art. That's where my party is. Cancer is so ugly. How am I going to navigate through that? And the only way I have survived in a healthy mindset, is by writing about it and sharing. You understand? And the doctor and Dr. Arlen said, go back amongst your pretty things. Go back. And I heard an urgency in his voice. So I got my ass back here. And so people have criticized me in Meridian for keeping all the last of my pretty things. And they don't understand that I'm here amongst a few last pretty that I haven't sold off to pay bills. You know, the Vuitton's got holes in it. Zipper's broken. The portraits are portraits of me. You understand? You don't sell stuff like that. They want brand new Vuitton. I've already tried. Why spin that wheel? So I've got to have a few pretty things. And also the postcards and the notes and all that were pretty things. It's not just material things. It's memories. It's memento. It's moments that made you happy. You understand? And that's how I've gotten through this, to this point. I can't even look in the mirror, Jill. Why do that to myself? I can look here up and fix my hair, make sure I'm presentable and clean, but I can't look at all the changes that have happened. You know, very often, someone said, why are you wearing that blanket? I said, I can't look at it. I know that's denial, but some of that denial helps you get through a period. I don't know if you want to tell this, but when I became HIV positive 30 years ago, I did not admit it to myself. And my first name is Timothy Mark, and my professional name is Barclay Fryery. So Timothy Mark had HIV and could get AIDS, and Barclay Fryery did not. And that kept me sane the entire time. And eventually I became TM Barclay Fryery. But the thing is that that's how I divided up the sickness. And that's what I've done with cancer. Not a name change, but a situation change. I stayed in pretty guest rooms. I wore clothes in the hospital. My assistants brought pillows and blankets and throws and all kinds of things to decorate the hospital room because it was so depressing.
Sipping coffee, sipping coffee, sipping coffee. When you sip, 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 sip. When you sip, 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 the coffee is so delicious. Maybe you're a tea person, TTT. Maybe you're a tea person, TTT. As long as you're sipping, 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 sipping. I'm dreaming of a hot latte, just like the one I sipped yesterday. La 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 la, Starbucks. La 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 la, lattes be bright.
My father beat me. He would dress me in a fireman hat and take little pictures, but then slap me when I would squint in the sun. He beat the hell out of me every chance he could until I left home. Many gay people go through that. And I didn't even know it was gay. I didn't even know what the word meant. But he didn't know what, I'm not sure if he knew exactly what it was. There was something that made me different. The way I styled my room, the way I wore my clothes. I wanted to be in theater and models and plays. And I didn't come home for years. But I sent presents, Jill, because you want to try to buy love, you know? Being gay was taboo, not accepted, still today. And I wanted to not be held back for what people said I was. So I was held back because of my neighborhood, which was middle class. I was held back because my daddy was a fire chief. I was held back because of the church I went to in Meridian, Mississippi. And darn it, I was going to go out and discover the world and let the world discover a fresh spirit, and they weren't going to hold me back. You know, I asked her from Santa, at 2.5 years old. Anyway, she's my beetle bug. And so I've called her Bug the entire life. She calls me Brother Love. She put up an emotional wall at first because she didn't want to see me go. And I'm her only sibling. And she's not ready to say goodbye. And she's still not. We're Fryeries and Anthony's and Jenkins. The Fryeries are all very stoic on the outside, but inside we're marshmallows. You know, I just don't want sadness. I wake up every day, and I do, even when I thought I was an atheist, agnostic, I still prayed, help me be the very best person I can be. Forgive me for any wrongdoings, and help me make an impact. I prayed that every morning and every night before I went to sleep, my entire life. And I think you should be the very best you can be. And sadness doesn't fit into that equation. And I pray every day, God have mercy. I don't want to lose my mind, my voice. I've got a nice voice. I've got a nice mind. And I want to communicate. I want to go to bed and wake up and not wake up. One night, when it's meant to be. When I've done what I can do. Eat all healthy foods. Don't overdo it anywhere, Jill, and you'll be nice, old, and fresh. I don't know where I went wrong.
He dreamed of this night, and I so wish that you were by my side, being witty and charming and outrageous and lighting up the room like Barclay always did. But I know he's beaming in the sky, taking a break from analyzing color swatches for the cottage he's designing up there. He's very specific, he wanted a cottage, not a mansion. Asked what shade should it be. He said it should be the shade of pink from a bullfighter's stockings in the south of France or Spain. I then Googled that and found that shade. Okay, and he said, well, I went to a bullfight and I couldn't stand the suffering, but I loved the shape of those stockings, so I had to go out the next day and order fabric in that color. So it is so like Barclay to find beauty on a backdrop of suffering, and that really is a big theme of our book. Can't so spit on you.
Dream as big as you want, just like decorating. Put on all the stops, and then edit it down to what you can handle.
We decided to make the hardcover a fundraiser, so all profits will go toward his vision of creating a charity focused on teen suicide prevention and supporting LGBTQ youth. And if you saw the headlines from Mississippi last week, he couldn't have been more prescient in choosing the cause he wanted to support. Federal court allows Mississippi to let businesses and government employees cite religious beliefs to refuse service to LGBT people. The law championed and signed in 2016 by Republican Governor Bill Bryan sought to protect free beliefs. Marriage is only between a man and a woman. Sex should only take place in such a marriage, and a person's gender is determined at birth and cannot be altered. So I think, Barclay would be alarmed and forlorn to hear that legislation happening in his home state.
I see this guy walking with this girl who was shopping by cabin, and I was like, who's this guy? So he sees me shooting, and I turn it off, and he says to me, "What is this? MTV?" So I said, "Who the hell is this?" So anyway, I got to know him over the years, and I was attracted to him because of his everything.
He's walking out of the house, and off the entrance hall is a long green carpet. And so Barclay just looks at him and says, "And what is this? A
at 2 o'clock. No, he'd call you at 4:45 and tell you a whole entire list of things that he needed you to bring that night. So, you know, and he was very specific about, you know, his color palette and his way he would describe things. One Barclay bed, we're doing a Nantucket bed, or a Barclay bench in white, not off-white, but white. He was a really loyal guy. You know, for a straight guy from upstate New York, he would always come into my showroom and kiss me on the forehead.
I always thought he should have been a motivational speaker, and I used to tell him that, because I said, you're such a creative motivator. He would call up and he would have some wild idea. He'd say, Leslie, you're going to Japan? Okay, when you come back, we're going to do sumi brush painting. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to come over and you're going to do a portrait of myself and Mr. Pooh. As I told him several months ago, I said, there's going to be a path of glitter from earth to heaven. And I know you'll be spreading style above.
And I was touched and abused because of it. But look at me now. I mean, I have cancer and dying, but I had a wonderful life. I didn't let it hold me down. Now, insecurity-wise, it took me years to get over that. You know, years. But I got over it. If you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody, is the old-fashioned saying.